It's about to get started.
That's powerful.
It really is.
And I just, I was looking at it and it was like, wow, I couldn't believe it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elruby Talks, and we are coming from you live from P2G Networks. I'm so excited. I know this is streaming in our Elruby Talks space, but today Elruby Talks crypto with the Golden Banker, Alvin Thomas.
Good morning,
Oh,
good morning, welcome. So
welcome.
glad to be here.
So, Mr. Thomas, as you can see, our background shows a little more of what our conversation is going to be reflecting. Um, you know, I'm big on the education. Our platform builds education in cryptocurrency and all of the truth around it, non-biased and non-focused. So we have no sales pitch for you.
Not at all.
We have education, community based, and from the position where you yourself, the user of those services that we provide, can then grow and continue to educate further yourself and your family and your children, but not while at the same time not while and without creating a profit for yourself. Now, I know cryptocurrency is, it seems like this new thing straight out the box. And a lot of people get really scared because they don't have information. But it's stuff like this that really messes us up, you
You're,
know?
you're, you're right, because as you can see, they're going to put someone really well known as the face of a commodity or an asset. And personally, I'm probably one of his biggest fans. I'll admit that right off the top.
He likes
I've gone
this
through
is
the whole
funny.
series, but they put him as the face of an initial coin offering, and most people don't even understand what that is. And he probably wasn't fully versed in what his position is outside of actually performing a service that he does professionally as an actor. So he
Exactly.
pretty much got steamrolled into something he may not even been ready for.
And this didn't exactly happen yesterday. So this is not new business. This has been going on since 2017. So 2017, Bitcoin made its huge, it really came out the gate at its 20,000 top and high. People started paying attention to it. So anyone could have gotten steamrolled or attracted by the idea of representing Bitcoin at the time. And this company had the audacity to, to mimic the name.
Right?
It's called Bitcoin. And I'm like, what?
Bit Bitcoin in.
Bitcoin. And the fact about that is that, unfortunately, there was not a lot of education for people, for the average person, let alone someone who happens to be a celebrity, you know, to know about how Bitcoin works. He may not have that technical background. They actually depended on that. He allowed himself to be guided instead of getting the information and knowledge himself, which was not which was intricate. It wasn't hard to get. It's very simple. It has always been this really simple process. There's always been groups. Bitcoin.com being one of our, we got to shout out Bitcoin.com because it's one of our amazing sources. Also, Bitcoin.org, which is Bitcoin's first website, official website for the decentralized, created by the decentralized community
Yep.
for the decentralized community. And I'm loving it, with truth about Bitcoin so people can get it. Now, the fact is, there's been a lot of usage of people's lack of information. There's been a lot of these scams, breaches, and it actually had nothing to do with the actual platform of Bitcoin or
No, it doesn't.
cryptocurrency. You know,
They
we
change.
get misled often, don't we?
We do get misled quite often because they'll change a word. They'll change a word and how something actually works and actually alter what it actually means to the person.
Hmm.
And people, when it comes to Bitcoin, I personally think there is a major emotional connection or disconnection, if you would say, to what Bitcoin really is. Because I've been an enthusiast for a little while, but most of the stuff they relate Bitcoin to is always something negative, something
Right.
in the dark.
Right.
If you really think about it, it's probably less than 5% of Bitcoin usage in that area. You can find dark sources, dark accessible, far more accessible through fiat currency,
Mm-hmm.
expense
Exactly.
accounts,
Right.
uh, company gatherings, for lack of a better term,
Also banking,
and
not just
banking.
banking, right, banking withholding. Um, I hate to say it, but our so-called trusted institutions have done some horrific things financially to the public, to their clients.
And they've cleaned it up.
And they cleaned it up. And we've seen it come up in the news. We've
Mhm.
seen it, they get poo-pooed and that's it. But we still are out of money. Us, the public, the general public are out of money while they play their game. The thing is that the one thing is they figured out that this takes them out the game and it allows you with some knowledge, the public, Joe average with a little knowledge, the ability to put them aside and do business directly and do trading because that's what you do with your money. You trade for goods and needs. You make decisions around that thing to make sure that you get the lifestyle you want.
You want to make sure that when you're exchanging your assets, you want to make sure they're valued for equal value.
Exactly.
We have fiat currency. Fiat currency is no more than a tool to allow you to access what you want, including your lifestyle, your
Hmm.
rent, your light, your gas, your day-to-day uses.
Right.
But Bitcoin is an asset based on the ability of incremental purchasing and fractional purchasing, so you can increase your wealth system the same way they do when they do compound interest in the banking system.
Exactly.
It's
So
a whole
I,
lot.
I love it because, breaking that down, cryptocurrency really does with the knowledge, with the training, and I'm not saying, you have to go to college because you're never going to get this. We never
No,
got this.
you never
We
got it in
never got
public
this
school.
in public school. We never got it in college. I don't care what economics class you took. You never took how to be a millionaire 101. You never took how not to pay the most, work the most, and cover the taxes the most for the ones who do the least. You never got that.
No.
Anyone who did, make sure you call in because I got $100 worth of Bitcoin for you if you got that course. Just letting you know, putting it out there. Because
Mhm.
my email is on this. Let you know right now. If you could email me proof that you got a course in how to do all of those things, how to avoid paying the most in taxes, how to avoid having to work every dime you had and then pay on top of every dime you made. If you got a course that showed you how to do that in college, please inbox me.
Well,
Please email me.
unless the
$100
college was
worth of
sitting
crypto.
at sorry, unless that college was sitting at one of the known millionaires, and you were sitting at that dinner table, and you were a relative,
That's
and
right.
that means son, daughter, sister, brother, uncle, cousin. You were
Yeah.
not part of that conversation.
You might have been lucky, right, Robert Kiyosaki, and you got to go visit your friend.
Now, I will admit, like anybody else, if I had the opportunity just to be a fly on the wall during
Hmm.
that family dinner conversation about how to create income, how to adjust the wealth stream so that you benefit on every transaction that you make,
Right.
I would be that fly. And I'd come back and use it
And you
and share it.
exactly because knowledge without action is dead. So you must have knowledge and put it in action for it to be powerful for you. Now, I want you to look at this page because today's conversation is built around the page. We have some information here that really kind of goes, it's like a theme.
Yeah.
Negative, negative, negative. Why is that? Why would they promote or pump negativity about something that is so amazingly beneficial to the average person? Think about it, the UBS, okay? Al, you were just talking to me about the
Yeah.
UBS. The
Yeah.
crypto
Union
has
Black Swiss.
fundamental flaws.
It's only a fundamental flaw if the average person is managing their own accounts, because you are actually, when you take hold of cryptocurrency, you understand the difference between Bitcoin and other altcoins that are
Exactly.
beneficial for growing your personal wealth. You literally take the banking system out of the playing field, and they become a nominal entity in your life. So you don't need them as much as they think you need. You don't need to place your funds in their organizations that you're currently paying negative interest rates on.
Can I read this?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, because I want to make sure everybody understands. So you have the chief economist at at UBS, the largest bank in Switzerland, says that cryptocurrency has a fundamental flaw. Bitcoin's fixed supply could cause the collapse of its value and spending power, making it unattractive for use as a currency, he claims. Well, guess what? It's not a currency. I'm
No.
sorry. I'm sorry. We call it cryptocurrency because of the flow. But guess what? Bitcoin is an asset. It's marked as an asset class. It's also code.
So it's a
So it
program
ain't
that's
money.
workable.
So that means that he's not really clear on what it is.
And
And they're
then again,
making
he might be.
statements to the public. Hold on, wait. So I'm gonna go there because I'm gonna go there. I get where you coming from, brother. Okay, I'm gonna go there. So maybe he doesn't understand what it is and therefore should not speak publicly using his reputation on the line about this. You get where I'm coming from? This man is he's the chief economist at the UBS, okay? The largest bank in Switzerland. When you think of banks in Switzerland, what do you think? Give me an idea of what comes to mind when you
I
think
know
bank
what
in
that comes to
Switzerland.
my mind.
Well, go on and mention. A lot of money, don't it?
A
A lot of
whole lot of money
fiat.
that's covered
Uh-huh.
by the Geneva Conference laws.
See, but the thing
Untouchable
about it is why
assets.
would you need that? Do you know that your crypto already gets covered and it's already got coverage that doesn't need Geneva?
You
Oh
know,
my God, you covering your assets on your own? We don't get a chunk of it? People, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna share something with you. That brother know what he's talking about. He don't think you know what he's talking about. He's using his reputation. And Al, you're right. Maybe he does know what he's talking about. Because
but
why would I need the Geneva Conference or Switzerland, Swiss bank if I got the blockchain?
okay. Not only that, but if he is the chief economist of UBS, he understands the financial onset of interest and inflation and how it works and how it affects the bottom line of every business person and company around. If he's managing if he have understand the structure of interest and he realized the program of Bitcoin is finite because of its program that allows moderate inflation over time. So it's
Mhm.
controlled inflation. Why would he want you not to use something that's actually going to keep values affordable to everybody and not to the few?
Oh, sucky. Oh, sucky.
Really.
When you have a business that caters to the few, you don't want the many, you don't want the few to become more. You need to see the thing about it is that his business it works the same way as Bitcoin, believe it or not. Scarcity raises the value.
Of course.
So what he does needs scarcity in order to raise the value. And he can't have Bitcoin coming in and taking that over because he can't control it. He
Which is a
himself,
beautiful thing.
the UBS cannot control, they can't control Bitcoin. Governments cannot control Bitcoin. This is why you see so many different. And this is what I'm saying, since we're just talking about the purest form of this cryptocurrency. Very different than altcoins. Altcoins are created by known companies, entities that have control systems. They're on blockchains. They're built to be secure, but they still are susceptible to a lot of what fiat is. And so
Mhm.
people don't realize that these altcoins they need us to move them. They need us just like Bitcoin. They need us to move them. But guess what? They allow us to move them together
Yep.
without a third party. And the banks are going to start you're going to see more of this stuff. So what we suggest for people to want to avoid, we're here to avoid misdirection and avoid scams.
Mhm.
That's what we're talking about here. So we're gonna come on out of the page. So I'm just really excited. I did
Yeah.
some I'm gonna break down some math for y'all. It's gonna be really cute.
Well, while you do that, let me just say something.
Sure, I'm
Um,
gonna drop the chair
it's
if you can.
it's really cool to have a public figure saying this is a good idea. But before you take his word at it,
Right.
go do the research around the company or the coin, or the token that he's saying, and find out for yourself because the information is readily available.
Mhm.
There's sites like, matter of fact, I'll tell you this. Every coin that's put out on the market has something called a white paper. And this white paper tells you what's the purpose of the coin,
That's
who
right.
it's going to affect,
Right.
and how it's going to work effectively to create the program that's aligned with it. You know, like I'm a big proponent of the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins, but I've actually done the research around it. So
Exactly.
I know what the coin is doing. So if I'm in a particular coin, there's a
Right.
reason for it, not just because someone like my brother here, Steven Seagal, said, get in this coin because
Right.
I'm doing a commercial for it. And they've been fraudulent accounts made by
460 at 460 well 460 investors lost well over 1.4 million dollars. 11, sorry,
11.
11.4 million dollars, and
Look,
that's a lot of money, y'all.
that is a lot of money because you trusted a faith. Do the research, get there in the back office, and I'm gonna tell you guys, and this is a plug for something I use very often, Coin Market Cap. Get
Yep,
in there, read. It's open
that's
source.
right. It's not like it's hidden. It's
No, it's
not
open
like it's
source.
hidden. And join
Go
us. If you're interested in learning about cryptocurrency and you really just want a solid resource, www.p2gnetworks.com.
absolutely.
You're going to hop on to an amazing workshop where people like yourself are looking for that basic information. And no, you don't have to pay for it. It's community knowledge.
Yeah.
And what we go forward to do is build. We need you in order for this thing to work for all of us. And when I say all of us, that means you too. Because nowadays, have you noticed the current way things are going? It's not working so well. So let's get it popping together, people. P2G Networks was built for the people, by the people, and it's maintained and grown by us.
That sounds like a real, democratic solution to the problem we got going
Oh,
on.
this isn't political, and it's the least
It is.
political
It's
thing
not
you'll ever do
political.
with your life.
We are
It,
for the
I mean,
people, by the
it is.
people.
You know what I'm saying? I said, I tell people, I guess they call it Unitarian. I don't know. Someone mentioned it. It's like, you're just such a Unitarian. I'm like, okay, whatever that is. But I'm all for unification and power and strength in numbers. Period. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what your political background is or what your religious belief is. We ain't getting off this berg by ourselves. Guess what? We gonna have to get there together. All of us. So put down whatever it is you think it makes you extra special and bring it to the group. Because until you start joining hands and getting new knowledge, information from multiple sources, and not being led by the media, stars, sensationalists, that we've been falling, my mama used to say, we've been falling for the okey doke a long time. It's time to wake up, open your eyes, and get to know what the facts are for yourself and use that little thing called common sense.
Uh, there's things called hype men. They use them on uh, stages for singers to catch their breath.
Yeah.
I want you not to be influenced by the hype people. Yeah, yeah, this is what to go do. They go to, yeah, oh, man, I'm doing such great. No, that's great. Take the air, go do some research. Get what you heard, put it to paper. Documentation beats conversation every
Every
time
time.
out.
All right. So join us, p2gnetworks.com, P2G Networks on YouTube. You're going to be able to catch information like this everywhere. This is not going anywhere. This is our future. You are in future now.
Yep.
And we've been spending the last year and a half putting money in people's pockets and knowledge to keep it there. So the bottom line is, what do you know that can take you from zero to hero the rest of your life? Crypto, as well as the things around it, can change how the world around you looks from now on. You
Absolutely.
choose. So join us on www.p2gnetworks.com and see what they got going on there. Don't forget to support, support, support.
Yep.
Lend your word, lend your hand. Bring yourself to the space. And don't you forget to bring your neighbors, because I tell you, it's a little dangerous being the only rich person in the neighborhood. All
Now
right.
that's a true statement.
All righty. Thank you so much for watching Elruby Talks. Alvin, thank you so much. Go bank. That's my boo, y'all.
Glad to be
Having a
here.
lot of
Glad to be
fun
here.
on an amazing Wednesday. Don't forget Crypto Kids every Wednesday. It's our community build, teaching our young people to build the future in cryptocurrency together as a community. We'll
As a
talk to you soon.
community.